Go ahead.
All righty then. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, I'll admit them now. Think
Ten, nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Put Happy St. Patrick's Day in the chat. Put Happy St. Patrick's Day in the chat. Even if you don't celebrate the feast, it's okay. It's okay to put it in there. Danny, I know you're messing with chemicals, but still put it in there. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Get it in the chat. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. What up, David? James, look at Fran. You're so good, Fran. Green hearts. I mean, just seriously, green hearts. Like, that is just impressive with those emojis. I don't even know how to do that. I get excited when Chad was talking yesterday. I was able to put hearts into it. That's what I was excited about. I know Hunter. Hunter. I don't see any green on you, Hunter. Is there any green on you, Hunter? No. You better find green, bud. You better go find some green real quick. Okay. I even got. Look at this. I even got green socks. All. I'm bringing it today. Jackie's got her green on. Come on, video. Who's got green? Let me see the green. All. Don't be hiding out. Monica's like, damn, I didn't put any green on over there. Better find some green, Monica. Don't come over there. I'm gonna pinch. Chat. Chat, go change. Just because it's your birthday this week, you go change, go find some green, get some green on you, Chat. Chat, you're a lender for crying out loud. There should be green everywhere. Green money for you. Giving out money today over there in the lending world. What else do we got? Steve, what up, brother? Good morning to you. Good morning, James. There we go. You got some clovers. Look at you all you guys are getting crazy now with the emojis. It's getting crazy. Go to the emoji, see what you can do. Who can put some more clovers? Get that We're going to do clovers today. Put a clover in the chat. We're not even doing fives. We're putting a clover in the chat today. What up, Tony? Tony up there up north. How much snow did you get? How much snow? Now Fran's just showing off now. Fran, you're just showing off all your emojis over there. Mildred, good morning to you, Mildred. Good morning to you all. Tanya, good morning to you. Caleb, good morning. Jill, shout out to Jill, Robert. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Today's topic are the life lessons. Actually, where is the name? What I named it over here. What did I name it? I named it from pain to purpose. From pain to purpose, life lessons of the Saint Patrick. Life lessons of Saint Patrick. All right, Michael, I get you. You got olive. I'll give you olive. It's kind of close to green. I mean, you're really trying to push it today on the green. I'll give it to you. I'll give you maybe a C on the green, but you gotta go find the green. Gotta find some green all. So today's Jared, no green over. What is going on over there in that insurance company's office? No green. Yeah, y'all like, what? Huh? Uh-huh. I bet we have no problem finding green beer. You got no problem finding green beer, but try to find green clothes. See what happens when you're a Jet fan, all you got a lot of green. You got a lot of green being a Jet fan. Not a lot of W's, but we got a lot of green. That's our takeaway that we get. We really like St. Patrick's Day. Robert's got green on. So today's message all is for those that really don't know, I like to study um, saints. I like to study the presidents. So, like, when there's like a celebration, us to have some sort of, I don't know, basically a day off or something that's abnormal, I study it, look at it. And so I've studied St. Patrick now for a couple of years. And every time I reread his story and his history, really brings something to the table. So today I'm going to be sharing with you more about St. Patrick. Put a put a All right, I'll do a 5 because it's a little bit easier, but put either a clove leaf if you know how to do the emojis or put a 5 in the chat that you really know the history of St. Patrick? Like, do you really know the history of St. Patrick? Do we got anybody on here that knows the history of St. Patrick besides where, the Green River in Chicago and how in New York do we really? I do not. Okay. Put a 10 if you don't know. Put a 10 if you don't know. Put a 10 if you know because then maybe make me feel good. Like today's a good message that I can share with people on St. Patrick and what took place. But before we do that, Heather, okay, look at Danny. She does got green on. Way to go, Danny. Freaking crushing it over there with the green. All right. I want us to all come off of mute and we're going to say our affirmation because we always got to do the affirmation first. Always do the affirmation. So come off of mute. Come off of mute. Find the mute button. Sherry, be careful. You're driving. Sherry, just be careful because you're driving and you got a scarf on. Yes, it's very cold here. It's chilly willy. We're like, it's not like Alaska cold, but it's cold, Colin. We don't like it too much. All right, on the count of three, we're all going to say it just as if we're holding green beer, green wine as a St. Patrick's Day. I want you to really put it out there today. On the count of three, let's all say it together. One, two, and three.
Something good
Something
is going
good
to
is
happen
going
to
to happen
me.
to
to me.
me.
Something
Something good is going
good
to
is going to
happen
happen
to
Happen
to
to
me.
me,
me.
through me.
Holy
Cheers.
smokes. Man, we got to get some green beer around here. That was just like, I think everybody might have had a little too much green beer last night. Kimberly, what up, girl? It's good seeing you on here as well. I haven't seen you in a while. So, St. Patrick is one of those feast all that really didn't take place. It didn't happen at first. Wendy and I went to a church service last night, and probably the craziest thing, I'm not going to get all into it. I talked a little bit on the prayer call today, but in a nutshell, basically, we had potential. Like I did something on Facebook. I had a couple people who were mad at me because I said it, but I was just like, we had drizzle and we only had wind, but the wind didn't happen. Like they canceled school. It's just like mind blowing to me, but that don't get me on that tangent. But the I was not going to go to this church service because the kids were supposed to have soccer. Braille was supposed to have soccer. Bryce, he's getting his Holy Communion. So I had a church group. And my mom, when we went on church on Sunday, she's like, "Are you going to that service?" I was like, "I can't, Mom. The first one's at 10 o'clock. I can't do it then. And the other one's at 7. And Braille's got a soccer game. So how ironic is this? That it does happen. Storms canceled, churches canceled, schools canceled, games are canceled, everything else like that. And my mom calls me up just like a mother would. Are you going to the thing now? Are you going to the service? Yes, Mom, I'm going to go to the service now. I will go. 48 years old, and my mom still tells me what to do, and I listen just like an obedient son. I'm like, yes, Mom, I'm going to go. And so I go to the service. And I'm not supposed to be at the service, so I'm listening with a little bit more intent because God has me at this message here to hear something. And I didn't realize the message was about really understanding that at any given point, God could bless you. It's not on our point, it's on his time period. And so this gentleman, who is a priest, who is not Catholic, had nothing to do with Catholicism, had nothing to do with Christianity. He actually, this is how crazy the guy was. He was the person. I met him last night that invented the internet. He was the one that created the internet in Seattle, Cullen. And he worked alongside of Bill Gates and Microsoft on how it all took place. He's not a priest, all. He's a computer genius. But God had him line up. The guy's a millionaire. And I didn't mix priests in Catholic world with millionaires. I said, you're the first millionaire priest I've ever met. I thought priests were poor. And I was like, wow, God works in crazy names. I'll give you his name. I forgot his name. I'll give it to you. I'll put it in the Facebook group. Go to the Brock's Even Mindset Motivational Facebook page, and I'll put it out there. And it was just a phenomenal story. And so when I woke up this morning, I was just like, you know what, I want to study St. Patrick again. And St. Patrick's story was phenomenal too, because God works in such mysterious ways. And so St. Patrick, at the time period, he was born in 400 400 AD, 400, 500, okay? Like 2,400 years ago. And he was captured. Can you imagine at 16 years old? They actually their place was in Britain. So he wasn't even in Ireland all. He's in Britain. And his town was right on the water. So I'm thinking as 16 years old, like, wow, this is a great life. Or this is where I'm at. I'm fishing all the time, having fun. And what happened is these soldiers or the from Ireland came over and was like, eh, we're taking you all. And they took a whole bunch of teenagers. And they took all these children and they brought them over to Ireland. And when they did that, Grace, could you check Michelle? I think she's not on mute. Michelle's like, wait a minute. How did I do that? All good, Michelle. You're good. And so he was captured and brought over at the age of 16. So here you are, unknown country, unknown world, no idea what's going on with you. And he was sold to be a slave. So at 16 years old, he's over there in Ireland and he was a slave. And what happened is he ended up being on the mountains. And if you don't know the story of David and Goliath, go look at it. Michelle can tell you all about it. But one of the things that I found fascinating back in the day was St. Patrick was a shepherd. And if you don't know a shepherd, do you think the shepherd is talking to a lot of human beings? Or do you think he's spending a lot of time by himself with animals? Right? Well, he did it for 6 years. Can you imagine 6 years of basically solitude by yourself? Not 6 months, not 6 days, Michael. 6 freaking years by himself with sheep every day. At 16 years old, the mindset and motivation to get your tail, like we bitch and complain about us trying to get up when we got internet heat, we got all this luxury in our life. And here he is in the cold. If you haven't been in Ireland, it's not the warmest there. They got great climate, and you got to get your tail up and you got to go watch sheep all freaking day. That's what you're judged on. Hey, did you get them all back? What's the inventory? What's the attendance? Do you lose anybody? And it was in that moment of depression, fatigue, that he started to have faith. And he started to occupy his time with praying to God because his father and his grandfather were part of the Christianity. His grandfather was a priest. And I don't know about you all, but for me, what happened was I thought Brock had life all figured out. And Brock was a lone soldier, and he was handling the steering wheel, and Brock was tight gripping it during his drinking days. When he stopped drinking, whenever he was poor, broke, and everything else, I said, I got it. I don't need you, God. I can do it all by myself. And it's not until the moment when you find yourself on a mountaintop, and in his case with sheep. For me, I was in a hotel in Virginia, laying on the ground with a bottle of vodka in my hand on I-77 saying, what the F am I doing? What is going on with me? What is my problem? There's got to be something more. Put a 5 in the chat or a clover of you feel right now there's something more. Whatever season of life you're in, there's something more that you have. And you think that it's a defining moment, like this is just what I'm supposed to do. Just like that priest did last night. He thought he was going to be a computer guy. He was freaking traveling all over the world. Hanging out with the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, driving around and flying around these private jets. He thought that's what he was going to do the rest of his life. And God had a plan for him. Just like if you think that you're at your moment and you're just like, is this it? He's got a bigger plan for you if you just allow it. And so he decided, he kept writing all his notes down. He says, you know what? I'm bigger than this. I'm better than this. And he decided to escape Ireland and go to Britain. He went back to his hometown. He went back to his roots. He went back to where he felt comfortable. And I'm talking to somebody right now who's trying to revert back to your comfort zone. And just to let you know, it's okay. Because sometimes in comfort, where we see it, Tim, where we see it, David, where we see it, Michael, is in these moments where we need to go back to comfort. But this time, he's bringing God with him because he's built a little bit differently. See, when people would ridicule me and come after me and throw stupid things on Facebook and everything else under the sun, I was a jackass, all. Let's just call it plain and simple. I was not a good person during my drinking days. And when I came back to comfort, guess what? Just like it was in the prodigal son, I didn't have all the warm festivities and like festival, like, hey, he's back. No, I was not that at all. I was ridiculed, made fun of, said I was like, you're such a still a drunk. You're this, you're this. But I was going back to where I felt like I needed to. I had to start fresh. I had to start over. And some of you are trying to do that and just know it's okay. So St. Patrick goes back to where he felt he needed to be, where his comfort. But guess what? Just like it was when I came back and I had to deal with all the demons, I said, you don't understand. I'm wired different this time. I'm not the same Brock I was back then. I'm built stronger. So if you try to break me, I got news for you. Good luck. And I say that with confidence. I say that with compassion and conviction. Like, I'm a badass now. Whether you want to think that's arrogant or not, but I ask you deep down inside, are you a badass? Are you ready to live the life that you're supposed to live? And stop hiding. So he comes back to Britain and he says, guess what? I'm now going to share this Christianity because God spoke to me, gave me a dream, and I need to come back here. So I'm going to come back here. I'm not the same person. And guess what? He became a bishop in the church because not only did he say when he came back, he's like, I'm raising the bar. Put a 10 in the chat if you're ready to raise the bar. Put a 10 in the chat if you're tired of playing little, you're tired of playing small, and you know what? I need to freaking go at it. I need to start being committed to wherever it is my goals, my plans are, because that first quarter, I sucked. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was playing tiny. I kept bitching, whining, and complaining, but this time I'm wired differently. And I'm coming back better than I've ever been. And so St. Patrick did that. And so he had to overcome some negativity. And so he started sharing. He became a bishop. And then he became a better version of himself. And he says, you know what? I'm going back. I'm going to go back and face those demons. I'm going to go back and face those challenges, those fears, because I'm going to go back to Ireland. See, he wasn't even part of the Irish community of Ireland. He wanted to go back to where his challenges were. And once again, he was stronger, bigger, better, the badass that he was. So he was able to go into that atmosphere and he started to share the message. And then he used a visual. And guess what the visual was? Fran showed it off on all her emojis. Now all of you go put a clover leaf, because the clover leaf, put it in the chat. Bless us with abundance of clover leaves. Go find your emojis. Put clover leaves all into this chat right now. Put the clover leaves all wherever it is that you can find it. And put it in there. Wow, thank you for Fran. Fran's the only one that found clover leaf. Everybody else, like, I have no idea. Okay, there we go. We got some clover leaves now. Make me feel a little bit excited. But the clover leaf became a symbol of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And he used a visual to be able to share his message. So I ask you, write this down. What is your visual to share your message? What is it that you're, like, for me, it's like my kids. Like, that's a lot what people connect me to. They connect me to a cold caller. They connect me to this show. What is your connection that if you were to walk in the room, Tony, they'd be like, that guy right there does this. Jared does this when I see him come in here. Sarah brings this to the table. Christian on here with this app. That's the first thing I think of now. When I see video, when I see things, people are like, "Oh, I'm trying to manage my business and my real estate." Blah. I'm like, you need to talk Christian because I think app. How he does that to help people. What is your visual? So St. Patrick takes this clover leaf and he starts sharing the message with the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and he starts sharing it and blessing it with abundance all across the community, all across the country. And he shares it. Now you guys are getting all excited over these emojis. Look at you all now. I like that. This is getting fun now. I can see all this stuff on the emojis. Chet's like, let me take a look at this. What are they doing over here? Right now, we got the gifts coming out, David. And so they take he takes this and he starts to share. And what happened is on St. Patrick's Day, on this day, it's actually was when he passed, when he died. Now it's not official, but like that's what the books share with us. And what he wrote down on the mountains when he was with the shepherd, with the sheep, and what he did with the becoming a bishop, that is what he brought to the table in his inspirational, in his books, in his message that he passed along. And so what they did was they created this in a way that they celebrated him, but in the church it was a day of prayer. Now go figure, Michael. It's when all the Irish came over as immigrants to the United States that said, we need to turn this into a party. And that's where it started in Chicago and it started in New York and the Green River and that's how the parade started. And it wasn't for over a thousand years that it didn't start into a festivity. And then now we just take it to a whole nother level. But it wasn't until that moment that the message, so behind the green beer and the green wine and the parades and everything else underneath that, it was a person by faith that he overcame and he wanted to have the hope of sharing Christianity, to share the message. He wanted to be an influence to other people. It was in those mountaintops of being in solitude that he found God. And just like Chad Free didn't find God until he was in his closet crying, weeping. And many of you have stories. Many of you are facing some heartache, some challenges in some capacity this very moment. And I tell you this very moment, that there is a reason for your season. Don't try to solve it. Don't try to figure it out. Pray about it. Share it with somebody else who might be going through something, or share it like, can I talk to you about this? Because you're going to help somebody else out. Just like I was embarrassed for 2 years to talk about my drinking and what I did. I was embarrassed to talk about my financial heartaches, being broke. But see, that brokenness was just a season. Wendy said to me yesterday, and for her to give me compliments, very few and hard between, not because she doesn't like me, but she just likes to give me a hard time. But it's okay because I like to be pushed. And she said to me, you have the greatest drive that I've ever seen anybody have. You're kind of psychotic. And I said, good. That's what I like. I have no problem being psychotic as long as it's for the right reasons. See, you can have psychotic feelings for the wrong reasons, yes or yes. But if you have a psychotic for the right reasons, nothing can get in your way. And so she calls me a little psychotic right now because like I'm on a mission to get an appointment every single day. And so like I'm constantly talking to people. And what I've realized is the gift that God gave me is that if I actually talk to you, 98% of the time I'm getting an appointment. And I don't say that with arrogance. I just say that with confidence because of all the brokenness and all the problems that I had to go through when I don't have a real estate license back in 2019. And the only thing I could do was to study personalities and to have faith that God was going to help me. And little did I know that I would be helping other people, just like St. Patrick is doing. And he shares Catholicism and he shares the message to put hope into other people. I didn't know that. I had no clue that that was the whole message that he was doing at the time period. Because if you lead a path of blissfulness and ease, do you think you got any learning lessons? Tom Brady says it all the time. Winning's great, but the biggest lessons was in my losses. So where are you losing that you can learn and to help other people? Because when you get rewired and you're working through God and you have the faith on this day of St. Patrick's Day, understand that the faithfulness that you have in these small little things is preparing you for bigger things and to help other people because he became an influence. St. Patrick became an influence to others. He changed the whole day of March 17th. It will never be normal again because he had a mission, he had a vision. I was speaking to somebody the other day about their vision and they said, I don't have one. Many of you, be honest with yourself. It's like driving around in a nice car every single day, fully full of gas, GPSs. You got a cooler in the car of water and snacks, but you don't have an address. So every day you get in that car, you drive around, you think you're busy, you have intent, but you don't have commitment. You don't have the, you're not truly committed to finding the address. Because once you have an address and you have a vision, you become a badass. And when you become that, you become unstoppable because God will remove every barrier that comes in your way. Financial barriers, relationship barriers, work barriers, whatever it is. Because he will lead you to wherever it is that you're supposed to go. So I want you to have the courage, whatever vision, mission, whatever it is that you're on, I want you to reflect on it today. And what is it that you're giving out to others to influence people? Use today as an influencing day, just like St. Patrick's Day. So, guys, if you got something out of today, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat. Put a clover in the chat. If you got something out of today, it is 8:44. What I've noticed sometimes when I speak, like I just quickly, like, kind of like drop the mic. It's like, oh, 8:44. All right. So that's what we got today. If you like today, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat. Put a clover in the chat. Guys, I got about a minute or two. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share, add, comment on the message today? Something that spoke to them? Maybe they think I am a psychotic. You can also say I'm an obsessed psychotic person. Whatever you feel like saying to me, I'm okay with it. Who's got something they like to share with us this morning? What is God putting on you that you're like, I don't know if I should say this or not? No, you should say it. I don't mind awkward silences. I'm really good at it.
I'll say something, Brock.
Michael, down in Florida. What's up, brother?
It's cold down here today. It's only
Oh,
about
please.
50. Anyways, you know what though, when you and I have similar stories, and at the end of the day though too is when you're hitting the rock bottom, whatever it may be. If it wasn't for the Lord, you know, actually giving you a foundation, humbling us, we wouldn't be where we're at today. And I'm very proud of you though too, is that you may be psychotic, but in a very, very good way. And it's very contagious. And after this phone call, you and I are going to schedule something. I'll be honest though. I mean, I'm coming up on my retirement years, but at the end of the day, I still don't have a clear vision, and it's frustrating to me. And we've talked about this before. And
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not speaking for anybody else here, but I see some nods, but I think some other people, we got to figure that out. I just think I'm well off, but I could have been further ahead if I figured out my vision, my big why earlier on.
So true. I started reading the book, The Millionaire Next Door. If you haven't read that book, and if you have read it, go back and read it again. It's a very good book. I'm learning a lot about it. Um, I'm blessed and fortunate about the income I make. but damn, I got no wealth. I'm like, I got to really figure this out. And I'm just thankful to, you know, have an opportunity to correct it. And we all have an opportunity. I mean, if you think about Colonel Sanders wasn't until his 60s until he was able to land some things. So, it's never too late. And I appreciate your vulnerability, Michael, and sharing that, um, because it is such a, we as entrepreneurs, we don't really have a retirement plan. We just think like, like, oh, it's wait, I mean, I got to work till I'm like 83 and then I die at 83 and a half. I think that's not a really fun plan. So, um, Christian's got his hand up like a polite student over here. Go ahead, Christian.
I'm polite, taking me back to my school days. Um, Michael, I've been in the same boat, man. And I know I'm a little bit younger than you, but I was kind of joking with, I think I told you, Brock, joking with my wife like 6 months ago, not even 6 months, 4 or 5 months ago, that I felt like I was in a midlife crisis. And I think for me, man, it's continue to search, right? Like the next time I speak on the show, it's going to be, I've been planning this for a while. There's a really famous there's a Stanford commencement speech from oh geez, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Steve Jobs, about connecting the dots backwards, how you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And I think that kind of my big takeaway from that, and as I have delved into really examining that idea and that philosophy, is that you have to just keep searching. And all these things that we've done in the past that may seem meaningless, or you don't know, why this or why that, is when you look back, they all kind of lead to the path that you're on today, or the spot that you're on today. But the key is to continue searching, and being okay with switching paths and switching directions, and understanding that everything that we've done has got us to where we are today. So I'll expand on that more next time I talk. I'm not sure when that will be, but yeah, my 2 cents.
Thanks, brother. It is the last Wednesday because in March we have 5 Wednesdays. So Christian speaks on the last Wednesday. He's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, you're in 2 weeks, Christian. So it's the last Wednesday you're the fifth Wednesday. No, we should have 5 Wednesdays in March. Somebody want to double check that. At least I thought there
It's
was five
April.
Wednesdays. Oh, April. Okay. I knew there was 5 Wednesdays coming up at some point. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you all so very much for being on here. Um, if you ever want to hear the story of what I heard last night, what was his divine meaning, reach out to me. I listened to the priest. It was pretty remarkable, his story, and just something that I would encourage people to really reflect on your life and where you're seeing signs, because his sign was at a place that was just like, wow, I wasn't expecting it there, and that changed him from being the computer genius into the priest, and that's where he went to the Vatican, and he actually worked with the Pope, and he's worked with the last two popes, which is pretty remarkable. Yes, I'll figure out his name too, because I'll find that and put that out. So make sure you join our Grace. If you could put all my contact information for anybody who wants to reach out to me, talk to me a little bit more about that. Anything I can help you out in the real estate world. This week I do have, what do I have this week? I don't have power players this week. Oh, yes, I do have power players this week, and I'm going to be sharing with you all what I'm doing on getting an appointment a day. I literally had another one yesterday. I have another one today, and I'm calling for sale by owners. I'm using artificial intelligence and I'm using Claude to be able to get them. So at 10 o'clock on Thursday, I'll be on. So if you want to listen into that, there's the link. Come join me. I'll be showing you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and what takes place during my listing presentations and how what I got going on. So appreciate y'all. Oh, and study hall. Thank you. Study hall. Don't forget live study hall in person, 11 Lakes Brewery next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I want to see you. Let's play together. That'd be fun. All right, all. Till then, Colin, stay warm up there at negative 27 degrees. Damn, that's cold. Might go 50 degrees. You can't complain too much when you got negative 27. I'm just going to tell you. All right, all. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Be happy, be healthy. Till then, see ya.